Life gets so much better when you realize that all the parts of the experience that you complain about, you perpetually bring onto yourself by your sloppy thinking, your terrible belief system, your broken paradigms, your ancient suspicions, and your attachment to the people that taught you a handful or a host of the things that I just listed. You are the source of all of your dysfunction. You are the source of all of your chaos, all of your illusions, all of your fears. Every unwanted aspect of the human experience that you gripe about, that you ask others to help assist you with, all originate, all begin, all flow from within. I ain't never made a habit out of calling somebody on the telephone that I did not want to talk to. But if you would just understand that the power within you is only a phone call away, and you are constantly giving your attention, which is the dialing of the number, to what you don't want, which equates to who you don't want to speak to. So when you give your attention to something that you don't want, that's you dialing the number of somebody you don't want to talk to. And then you get upset when they answer the phone. You're mad at the service provider for connecting the phone call that you made. You're upset that the universe has provided you more of what you have output. You're not upset with the fact that you've put it out for the collective and for the universe to experience. You're upset that more of it has come to you. You're lashing out on the people that you've punished with your illicit behavior, your harsh words, your critical judgments. And then you want somebody to feel bad and have understanding for what it is that you're going through that caused you to act that way. The same thing that caused you to act that way is the same thing that caused you to go through those unfortunate circumstances that you called to yourself. They're choices in the universal experience where you and I have been given dominion over the earth. Religion told you that all would be saved, every knee would bow. Truth is, I am is not somewhere without. I am is actually within, and your life will not change until you submit to the source within you. Identify I am within as the only Lord of your life, and you partner with that entity within yourself so that you can first be renewed. Because that upside down way of thinking that was taught to us is in the way of truth being revealed and understood. You've been misguided. You haven't been misled. You've been misguided. If anybody misled you, it's yourself. And we can settle on that. You have been misguided and misled. The outside entities that you attached yourself to, the organizations, the people, the opinions, the dogma, the status quo beliefs that were perpetuated to us all, hand down over ages of time, you were misled. But you were called to submit your way to the way of I am within you. And if you have been misled by anyone, it's been your own desires, your own imaginations, the vain pictures that you cast and project between your ears that constantly trigger you and set you off with fears, desperation, ideas of lack, shortage, envy, and a host of other lowly vibrating emotions that clog our ability to allow for abundance to flow to us and through us. So you'll never be abundant if you don't have a desire to have a surplus that you can extend to others who remain in a way of life that you can relate to and you know firsthand. You had to fight your way out of it. But was the fight a fight of desperation? Was the fight a fight of the clock? Did you go and sell your time? But now with what you've been able to garnish, you've become tight-fisted, indifferent to the struggles that you came out of your very self. Striving always makes you sick. Striving never leads to success. You may strive your way into a host of material gains, but striving will never add any virtue, any happiness, any peace. Striving is not natural. Striving is not easy. Striving doesn't flow. Striving is not what you were made for. And anytime you try to partner with something that you were not designed for, something that was beneath you, something that you were called to step over and give no attention to, but in your ignorance, in your lack of awareness of yourself and the gifts within you, you look at the very thing and project on it need, necessity, essential, critical, mandatory, life or death. And to be real, your desires are a matter of life and death, but not in the way that we've been thinking. You get it in your head that you want something so bad that you can barely breathe without it. You can't stop thinking about it. You just can't go on until this issue is settled, until this person has returned or this person is gone. Whatever the condition is that we've set and given so much of our attention to, that to stop obsessing over it and give our attention to something else actually hurts. But we never say that we did this to ourselves. We never say that this is something that we chose. We act as if we are locked inside of an experience or locked inside of a reaction. And there's only one way to handle being misused, mistreated, or misunderstood. And it begins with feeling hurt and needing someone to understand where I'm coming from. At some point, growth and development is absolutely called for. At some point, the theories, the fantasies, the daydreams, the idolizations should all be replaced by truth and truth alone. Your appetite for fantasies drives you deep inside of experiences of nothingness, distracted by the narratives of what you would like for things to be, what you wish they were, what they could have been. All projections that you just cast as you go. And then when your production hits a wall, who do you blame? How many times have you blamed yourself for taking your own hand and walking yourself down a dead end? You've been walking circles around a cul-de-sac since you were a teenager. And there are no barricades stopping you from exiting this cul-de-sac and getting back on the road. Back to navigating roads that actually lead to new places, new experiences. You've been feeling the same, fighting the same battles, thinking the same thoughts, and operating inside of the same 20-mile radius for forever. But you stay talking about change. You stay talking about one day to come. Let this be the year that you don't talk about your resolutions. You show yourself your resolutions. You actually put your resolutions into action. You actually execute on the inner visions that you are holding, so that you don't have to spend another year bitter, envious, and upset with other creators who are moving on faith and expectation and trusting the inner source on the inside for provision as you go and clock in and work another double and talk about how dark the world is and how hateful people can be. No. The world is not getting darker. People are not growing more hateful. Remember, at the bottom of each and every one of your judgments of everything and everyone is you. They're not getting more hateful. They're not getting more resentful. They're not getting darker. They're not getting losser. It's you. But in this very instance, you can begin the process of reversing this negative tuned mind and calling to yourself what it is that you desire for yourself. Starting tonight. Every time you get ready to say another judgment, every time you're in your inner dialogue and you hear another critical thought rising, whether it be criticism of a person, place, or thing, I'm gonna need for you to pump the brakes. Don't even finish the negative thought, because the negative thought arises from your negative tune. In the next video, we're gonna talk about how we've been tuned for negativity, how we've been taught to look for what's wrong, look for what's off, look for what could be better, and to speak on it. And it's the constant attention to what's off that keeps us from being completely on. Lock in, safety, love.